This is the best ever, in my opinion, tutorial for newcomers. Let's go. Alright, so here's the basic things. For walking, you're going to start by doing this. It's almost like you're jumping, okay? You don't want to do that. When you're trying to run away from lava monkeys, going up is just going to make you go slower. So instead, or doing both hands too, that'll also make you slower. So instead, move parallel to your surface and don't go up, go back. So it's like you're, and then look how fast I can run from doing that. And there's also something called a funny run, where you take your 2 fingers and you do this on the ground. Just like this. And you just look how fast I'm going. This is not sped up. And I just made it from all the way over here to over here. Jumps. When you're jumping, when you first learned how to go up like this, it's basically the same motion. And you just let's say you have to get up here, you just jump. So just smack the ground. Just smack the ground. Just like that. After you learn the basic running and jumping, you're gonna need to learn how to get up these walls, up little poles and stuff. But there's something called pinch climbing. So to pinch climb, you have to know your hitboxes. So your hitboxes are the palms of your hands and the face. So your face can easily hit something, and look, your hands can hit it, but see, my arms can't. So my arms just go through things. So when you're doing something called pinch climbing, which makes you go up like this, you have to hit the palms of your hands, and when you go up, it's like you're just throwing down, almost. But you can't go like that, because then it's going to make you go up. So when you're throwing down, pull in. So you go up, but you stay glued, like this. A great place to practice this on is the double walls, and you can pick either wall and just practice throwing down, but scoop in. So you're like this, and then you re-grip, just like that. And then to get up the double walls, so when you're doing this, you'll see people going back and up, just like this. But you see, when you try it, you just go back and forth, and you're not even going up. You'll just go either forward or backward, and you don't know how to get up. When you're going, you stick to the wall for about half a second. So you have just so much time to go out, but push up at the same time. So go out, but up. So you're going boom, 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 boom. But if you hold on for too long, you'll fall. And you can't get a good grip because you're already falling. So when you get up here by doing that, then you'll get up. Alright, so now we're going to do branching. Branching, when you look at every tree in the whole game, except for the stump, every tree is just a duplicate, but it's either smaller or just how far apart the branches are from each other. So this giant tree is the same as that little tree over there. It's just it's the same thing. So when you're branching and you... Alright, so I'm editing this video, and I realized that a lot of the times in this video I go sss, and I stutter a whole bunch. So if I do, I'm sorry. Step on a branch, you have to know exactly where you're going. So I could go this way, down there, or right there. I'm going to choose to go this way because it's the easiest, and it's a more or less possible chance of me falling on the ground. And then the only chance I really have here is to go here, because if I went down there, where else would I go? And I just fell. So now, when you get to the end, you're going to find your next branch, and then your next, and then your next. And remember, practice makes perfect. And then eventually, you'll get to just knowing everywhere, like right here. Boom. And then you go to the end. boom, boom. So it's kind of like you're a squirrel, and you have to think every millisecond on where you're gonna go. Also, except for if it's like a really big branch, I recommend only 1 or 2 steps on a branch. Depending on how big the branch is, 3 or 4 is pushing it a little. Like, I only needed 2 steps on that branch. And that is how you branch. So just use anything you can to just look. Boom, boom, boom. It's really complicated, but again, practice. The next thing I'm going to teach you is something that a lot of people fail or just don't know how to do, which is wall climbing / wall running, which is the movement where you climb up a wall or you run on the wall. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the best explaining on this, but from my thing, remember when you were on there bouncing back and forth, when you were like this, and you would go up but also out, right? So when you're wall climbing, it's basically just jumping from wall to wall and act like you're Frozen, basically from The Incredibles. Just like this. Boom, boom. You just jump from wall to wall. And don't push out, because when you push out, like the walls, you'll go out. So you, again, stay parallel, but also jump from wall to wall. Wall to wall. Wall to wall to wall to wall. And then it gets pretty easy. For wall running, when you're trying to wall run, when you jump wall to wall, when you know to jump to a new wall is when you'll find a big crease like this. So let's say I'm on this wall. I need to get to that wall. That's when I know when to jump, because it's a crease right there. And also, again, don't push out, because when you push out, you'll fall. So push kind of like in, like circles, sort of. But go forwards as you go. And that's how you wall run. I don't know if that was the best explanation, but if this didn't help, I'm really sorry. But there are a lot of other tutorials to help you on wall climbing and wall running. This next thing I'm going to teach you is probably, in my opinion, the most hardest thing in the game, which is scaling trees. When you scale trees, you'll see people climbing, and then you try it, you'll push out, okay? And you'll push away from it. But instead, when you're going up, act like you're a bear climbing on it, and you're like that. So instead of going out, you push easily down, but in. Just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. But you can't just do that for the whole way, because eventually you'll fall and you'll slip. So when you get up one, you hang on to a branch, and then you do that again, and you hang on to a branch. Oh gosh. Do that again, and you hang on to a branch. Do that again, and you hang on a branch. It's just a process where you just keep on jumping and putting your hands on trees. And then when you get to the top, you pinch climb. And that is sort of how you scale trees. If you want to, and you're not that skilled yet, you can pinch climb. But then once you get to a branch, you have to put your arm out like this and hold on to the branch and keep going. And then same thing right here. You're gonna boom. And then you're gonna boom. And then you keep doing that all the way up to the tree. Okay, here's just a little tip before I go on to the thing that everybody loves to do, is using your environment. So by that, I mean you have a whole little gazebo is what they call it. And you have a pole to just bounce off of. You have a picnic table to juke maybe. You can do this, you can boom. There are just so many ways you can use these items to just destroy a whole lobby, even in this little space. So just try to look around and see what you have to just like cook, basically. So like you got a board, you got stairs, a picnic table, you have poles to do jukes off of, like, and then you have the roof you can get on top of with a way that is a little advanced, but who cares? You could learn that maybe somewhere else. But yeah, so that's just a little tip. Now we have everybody's favorite, jukes. I have a lot of favorites I love to use. For example, your hitboxes have to do with this one. So you grab onto the pole exactly how you're going to pinch climb, but because your arms can go through things, you spin in real life, put your arm through it, and just eventually let go, and you'll go in a completely different direction. So you could go like that. And then you can go like a completely different direction when you're actually good at it. So your arm goes through. Remember, like I could just, because my arm goes through. But you spin in real life and just let go eventually. So I could just like that, and then eventually it'll let go anyway. But you can get really, really good at this because your arms can go through everything. And sometimes you can go one-handed, like just put your arm like that. So that's a pretty cool. Now we have the famous TikTok juke, hit off the ground. When you're running, you can use a campfire maybe, just to let the person go under you. This, in my opinion, is not the greatest, but it is a cool one just for beginners to learn. Especially when you go up to another pole, you could just... Alright, so I'm editing this, and here's another voiceover, but I realized that some clips, they will just cut off, like, for no reason, and I didn't know how to fix it, because if I undid it, I would have to undo everything. So, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Hit off of it, because that's just, you know, it's kind of... Now the one that everybody uses, the famous slide juke, just like that. When you're going, again, it has to do with your hitboxes. They can't go low to the ground, because then you're just gonna fall to the ground, and then your hand will be stuck like here. You can't be having that. So you have to jump high and put your arm through, and to have enough momentum, just swing back, just like that. So it's like one motion, just boom. Or you can go this way, or sometimes you can fake it and you can go and just put your arm through, and then, you know. But an easier way for some people, not really for a lot of people, but for some people, just running under it and then just jumping up and grabbing the top, just like that. Just a... Oh, well, I missed. Like, it's not easy for me, but for some people it is really easy. So now I'm going to go into a public lobby to use what I taught y'all. Now what I'm about to do is not what I would do in a real lobby. This is just based on what I taught you.
Is it good? Is it good?
Well, I want to tag everyone. I'm playing music.
Just like that. And then we're just gonna skip until I'm not it. Alright, I'm not it.
I love the both of them.
Oh no. No thanks.
They both sound great.
AK work on.
Guys, I just ate the tastiest burger king of my life. And can I green by you?
Targeted me for no reason. He's targeting certain people. He's targeting the good people. I'm not good at that. Oh. No, shoot us. Oh no. How do you like do that spin thing?
Is it real?
Oh.
I just got to know. a Sigma.
Oh no, I got stuck.
I just gotta know. Does it quit?
That's just an example.